A brand new SSA rule could put millions of Americans at risk of losing their SSI benefits overnight, and it all comes down to your bank account. That's right, one small change in how you manage your money could be enough for the Social Security Administration to cut off your benefits instantly. This shocking rule is raising big concerns for seniors, people with disabilities, and low-income families who rely on SSI to cover daily expenses like food, rent, and medical care. In this video, we'll break down what the new SSA rule actually says, how your bank account activity could trigger a loss of benefits, and most importantly, what steps you can take right now to protect yourself. If you or someone you know depends on Social Security, SSI, or SSDI, this is an update you cannot afford to miss. Stay tuned so you're not caught off guard by these sudden changes. Hey everyone, if you're receiving SSI benefits or know someone who does, this might be the most important video you'll watch this year. Before we dive deep into this critical change that's sending shockwaves through the disability community, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. This information could literally save your benefits, and you won't want to miss our upcoming videos on crucial SSI and disability updates. What if I told you that having just a few extra dollars in your bank account could now trigger an automatic termination of your SSI benefits? What if the money you're saving for emergency medical expenses could actually be the reason you lose your monthly support? And what happens when the system designed to help our most vulnerable citizens becomes the very thing that pushes them further into poverty? The Social Security Administration has recently implemented a new automated bank account monitoring system that's changing everything about how SSI recipients need to manage their money. Gone are the days when you could simply report your resources during scheduled reviews. Now, the SSA has direct access to your financial information, and they're watching every single transaction. Let's break down what this means for the millions of Americans who depend on SSI. The resource limit for SSI recipients hasn't changed. It's still $2,000 for individuals and $3,000 for couples. What has changed is how these limits are monitored and enforced. Previously, recipients had some flexibility in managing their resources, with periodic reviews allowing them to explain temporary fluctuations in their accounts. But now, with real-time monitoring, even a single day over the limit could trigger an automatic suspension of benefits. Think about Sarah, a 45-year-old SSI recipient who's been managing her disabilities for the past decade. She recently received a small inheritance from her aunt, $3,000. Before she could even make arrangements to spend down the excess or set up a proper ABLE account, her benefits were suspended. Sarah's story isn't unique. It's becoming increasingly common as this new system rolls out across the country. The impact of this change goes far beyond just the numbers in a bank account. It's creating a new kind of poverty trap, where recipients are forced to maintain artificially low balances in their accounts, making it nearly impossible to save for emergencies or unexpected expenses. How can someone prepare for a medical crisis when having an emergency fund could cost them their monthly income? But here's what makes this situation even more concerning: many recipients don't even know about this change. The SSA's implementation of this new monitoring system has been quiet, with minimal public announcement or education. Millions of SSI recipients could be at risk without even realizing it. Let's talk about the technology behind this change. The SSA is now using sophisticated financial surveillance systems that can access bank account information in real time. This means they can see your balance not just monthly or quarterly, but potentially every single day. Think about that: every deposit, every withdrawal, every transaction could be under scrutiny. The question that keeps coming up in the disability community is, how is this legal? Well, when you apply for SSI, you give the SSA permission to verify your financial information. What many didn't realize is that this permission would eventually extend to continuous, automated monitoring of their accounts. This brings us to an important point about privacy and autonomy. While the SSA's intention might be to prevent fraud and ensure proper distribution of benefits, the implementation of this system raises serious concerns about financial privacy and the dignity of SSI recipients. Should people with disabilities have to sacrifice their financial privacy to receive the support they need? The timing of this change couldn't be more challenging. With inflation hitting record highs and the cost of living soaring, SSI recipients are already struggling to make ends meet with benefits that barely cover basic needs. Now, they have to be more vigilant than ever about their account balances, adding another layer of stress to their already challenging situations. Let's look at the real-world implications. A recipient who receives a back payment from another source, like unemployment or workers' compensation, could find themselves over the resource limit before they even have a chance to spend or properly allocate the funds. A family member's well-intentioned gift could become a financial catastrophe. Even a tax refund, if not spent quickly enough, could trigger a benefit suspension. But there are ways to protect yourself and your benefits. First and foremost, understanding how to properly manage your resources is crucial. This might mean maintaining separate accounts for different purposes, setting up automatic alerts for when your balance approaches the limit, or exploring protected financial vehicles like ABLE accounts. ABLE accounts have become increasingly important in light of these changes. These special savings accounts allow SSI recipients to save more than $2,000 without losing their benefits. The first $100,000 in an ABLE account doesn't count toward the SSI resource limit. However, not everyone knows about these accounts or understands how to set them up. Another critical strategy is understanding what doesn't count toward the resource limit. Certain assets, like your primary residence, one vehicle, and essential household goods, are exempt. But the rules about what counts and what doesn't can be complex and confusing. The impact on families has been particularly severe. Consider the case of Maria and John, a married couple both receiving SSI. They've been saving small amounts from their benefits each month to repair their aging wheelchair ramp. Under the new monitoring system, they're afraid to let their account balance grow, forcing them to choose between necessary home repairs and maintaining their benefits. The disability advocacy community has been vocal about these changes, but their concerns seem to have fallen on deaf ears. Many argue that the resource limits themselves are outdated, having not been adjusted for inflation since 1989. When you consider that $2,000 in 1989 would be worth over $4,500 today, it becomes clear how unrealistic these limits have become. Some recipients have reported feeling like they're being treated with suspicion, as if they're trying to game the system. The reality is that most SSI recipients are simply trying to maintain a modest safety net while managing their disabilities and chronic health conditions. The constant monitoring of their accounts adds an unnecessary layer of stress to their already challenging lives. The mental health impact of this change cannot be overlooked. The anxiety of constantly watching your account balance, the fear of receiving unexpected money, and the stress of managing resources within such tight constraints can exacerbate existing health conditions. For many recipients, their bank account has become a source of constant worry rather than financial security. So what can you do to protect yourself? First, stay informed. Knowledge is power, and understanding these changes is your first line of defense. Monitor your accounts regularly and set up alerts for when your balance approaches the limit. Consider speaking with a financial advisor who understands SSI rules and can help you develop a management strategy. If you receive unexpected money, act quickly. You generally have 30 days to spend down resources that put you over the limit, but with the new monitoring system, it's better not to cut it close. Have a plan in place for how you'll handle any incoming funds that might push you over the limit. Consider exploring alternative financial arrangements. Some recipients are turning to prepaid cards or setting up specific accounts for bill paying to help manage their resources. While these aren't perfect solutions, they can provide additional tools for staying within the limits. The importance of keeping good records cannot be overstated. Even with automated monitoring, you should maintain detailed records of your income, expenses, and resources. If questions arise about your eligibility, having clear documentation can make the difference between maintaining and losing your benefits. It's also crucial to understand your rights and the appeals process. If your benefits are suspended due to resources, you have the right to appeal. Document everything, keep copies of all communications with the SSA, and don't hesitate to seek legal assistance if needed. The disability community has shown remarkable resilience in adapting to these changes, but the stress and uncertainty are taking their toll. Support groups and online forums are filled with stories of recipients trying to navigate this new reality, sharing strategies and warnings about potential pitfalls. Looking ahead, there are some efforts to reform the system. Advocacy groups are pushing for changes to the resource limits and the monitoring system. Some lawmakers have proposed legislation to increase the limits or change how they're calculated. However, until these efforts succeed, recipients need to be vigilant about managing their resources under the current rules. The irony of this situation isn't lost on anyone. A system designed to help people with disabilities is forcing them to live in a constant state of financial insecurity. The very people who most need a financial safety net are being denied the ability to create one. For those who work with SSI recipients, social workers, financial advisors, family members, understanding these changes is crucial. The more people who are aware of the new monitoring system and its implications, the better equipped the community will be to help recipients maintain their benefits. Education and awareness are key. Share this information with others who might be affected. The more people who understand these changes, the more likely we are to see meaningful reform of the system. Your voice matters, and sharing your experiences can help build the case for change. Don't let these changes catch you off guard. Take action now to protect your benefits. If you found this information helpful, please give this video a thumbs up and share it with anyone who might be affected by these changes. Subscribe to our channel for more updates on SSI, disability benefits, and financial management strategies for benefit recipients. Drop a comment below with your thoughts or experiences with these changes. Have you been affected by the new monitoring system? What strategies are you using to manage your resources? Your story could help others in similar situations. Remember, knowledge is your best defense against unexpected benefit losses. Stay informed, stay prepared, and most importantly, know that you're not alone in navigating these challenges. We'll be here with regular updates and information to help you protect your benefits and maintain your financial stability. Thank you for watching, and remember to hit that notification bell so you don't miss our upcoming videos on important SSI updates and management strategies. Until next time, take care and stay vigilant with your resources.